In the automotive world, a sleeper car is a car which looks old but shreds the opponent into pieces. This is the sleeper concept. So this video is about building a sleeper PC. So let's get started. Guys, as you can see, I'm on my workbench now. I have kept the motherboard on a hard non-static surface, and as you can see, this is the CPU. If you can focus, it says it's the Intel Core i5 2500S. So we're gonna start the installation. So first we have to see that this triangle on the CPU and the triangle on the bracket matches. So we'll hold this CPU like this. Remember guys, do not touch the gold pins and the gold connectors because they are pretty sensitive and may get damaged. So I have placed it, do not push it anything, and just with a slight press we'll put this cover and we'll lock the CPU now. So now we have successfully installed the CPU. Now for the heatsink, we're gonna get the thermal paste over here and we'll install this stock Intel heatsink, as you can see. So guys, for the thermal paste, as you can see here, I'm using the Arctic Silver 5. So now I'm gonna spread it because I'm the one who likes it to be evenly spread and it looks neat. So I'm gonna spread it with a flat, any kind of flat, but do not use cardboard guys. It might damage the surface of the CPU. So I'm gonna just spread it evenly. The spreading of your thermal compound also affects the performance of your CPU, because the more the efficient way the CPU gets cooled, it works just fine. So I have just spread it all evenly. Now I'm gonna install the heatsink. So as you can see, this is the heatsink. I have totally cleaned it, and I have also put a drop of thermal paste over here because it will help to get spread it evenly. So now we'll check this wire. As you can see, this plug and this connection. As you can see, these 4 pins are the pins of the CPU fan controller. So we are going to just push it down, and we'll push it down till the click sound comes, and we'll secure the pins by turning them around, and your heatsink is successfully installed guys. Now we'll take this fan header, we'll do some cable management over here, as you can see, because I like the wires free from tangles. So now we'll see this notch over here and on the motherboard. Let me just move it. As you can see here, there will be a notch, so we have to just insert it facing it towards the notch, and the heatsink is completely installed guys. Now we have to just check it. So this is it guys, we have successfully installed this heatsink. Now we are going to install the RAM sticks. So these are the RAM sticks. As you can see, I have this one, which is the DDR3 memory. As you can see, these both are 4GB variants. And now we are gonna see this notch and this notch. So we are gonna align this RAM. First of all, we have to just pull these 2 clips off here, and we're gonna install it like this, and just keep pressing the RAM till these 2 notches get back to its original position. Again here, and the RAM is also installed correctly. So I have done this process prior because after setting this motherboard into the case, we might not get any free hand like operations, so I have done it now. So guys, as you can see, this is the case. So this is a pretty much old case, so I'm gonna face some problems. As you can see, I can only use this this four standoff pins for my motherboard, as this case is a bit old, so there was a different kind of structure for the motherboards at that time. So taking into consideration, let's install the IO shield first. As you can see, this is the IO shield. So now let's install this. So we have to just see this the signs of the motherboard and the IO shield. Now we're gonna just take it, and so as you can see, I have successfully fixed it, and now we're gonna take the motherboard and we'll fix it over here. So this is the motherboard, and we'll hold at the take a hand over the heatsink, and we'll keep it and we'll align it to the four standoff pins which are available for us right now. So guys, I just noticed that this IO shield was not compatible with my motherboard. This is not the IO shield for my motherboard, so I'll just replace it. Until then, we'll fix the motherboard directly. So we'll hold the motherboard, we'll pull it from this side, and we'll just try to align the screws of the standoff ports. As you can see, the four ports are matching. Now this is a bit trickier for the older cases like this. I have painted it, so it's looking like new. So guys, we have successfully installed our motherboard into the PC case, which is pretty old. Now let's get the other main part of this PC, the SMPS. Now we'll join the SMPS wires. We have to take this 24 pin connector and we'll connect it over here. This is the pin, and we'll just press it gently. So I have installed this pin. Now we have to take the 4 pin connector, which is this. We have to take this 4 pin connector and we have to just install it over here. You will get all the fittings instruction in the manual of your motherboard, so don't worry about it. So this 4 pin connector will be inserted over here. So this is a 4 pin Molex connector, as you can see this, and this is the power supply for the hard disk. Similarly, I have 2 pins more, so I'll just keep it here because I'm not going to install the hard disk right now. So for gaming, I need a graphics card, and for some high-speed transfers, I also need a USB 3.0. So I have the hardware and will now install it there. So guys, as you can see, this is the graphics card. This is the Nvidia GT 1030. It's from Gigabyte, so I can overclock it, as Gigabyte provides the overclock engine also with the drivers. So we're gonna install it in the PCI slot over here, this blue one, and we're gonna just first of all we're gonna remove this screw which came with the case so that I can install the graphics card. So we'll just hold the graphics card and align these pins too. and we'll just gently press it down in the slot. I'm gonna install the USB 3.0 card afterwards, cause I'm facing some problems over here. So we'll just move to the next is that we're gonna install two 120mm fans over here. So we'll move to that step now. So as you can see guys, this is the 120mm fan from the Circle company. So I'm gonna need the airflow towards inside, so I'm gonna see the direction. As you can see here, the direction is provided that the airflow will go like this, and now I'm gonna install it like this so that it will get the air inside the box. As you can see, I have installed my fans. As you can see, these two fans. So we're going to connect it to the motherboard right now. So I'm going to take this first fan. So it has a Molex 2-pin connector, as you can see. And let's take the other fan. So this fan does not have a Molex pin, but this fan has a 3-pin connector, as you can see this. So this will be going to the motherboard tray over here, and this will be going to the SMPS. And now we're going to install it over here. The same as we installed the CPU fan, we have to check the two notches and we're going to install it. As you can see, the 4th pin over here, as you can see, this pin is for the speed controller. As the fans are not compatible for the speed controlling, so we can't use it. So this other pin, we're gonna install it to the 4-pin Molex connector. As you can see, these two are the Molex connectors. So, and these are fixed. So oh guys, I forgot to tell you that these fans are RGB fans, so we're gonna get the blue light also. So this, now we're going to install the hard disks so that we can install the Windows in it. I've installed the hard disks into the system. Now let's connect it to the system. The first hard disk, you can connect it, these are the ports for the hard disk. You can connect it to any port you want, it will not restrict you anytime. So I'm gonna connect it over here like this, and the second drive, which is my storage drive. So I'm gonna connect it, the pin first to the hard disk, then this pin goes over here into the SATA port. And now we come for the power supply for each of the hard disk. As you can see, we have got this SATA power cable, so we're gonna connect it to the hard disks. So as you can see guys, this plate came off finally, and now I can install my USB 3.0 ports. So I'm gonna install it right now, and these are installed. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this 4-pin Molex connector, which is the male I guess, and gonna fit it here as a power source, as USB 3.0 ports have a much higher power supply. So I'm gonna just connect it over here like this, and As you can see, this was the older case, so at that time the PCI, the pins had a much greater height. As you can see, I can add my finger over here, so this will lead to some kind of loose contacts. So now we'll fix it. I have came to an idea that I'll let it be like this, will as my case will be stable and will not move again once I fit it. So I'll just let it be like this. Then I'll start with the cable management right now, cause it looks very much tangier and tangled. So I'm gonna just start my cable management. For cable management, you guys can stick to the zip ties and other things, because it might be much easier for it. So let's start the cable management. So guys, I have just noticed a problem. As you can see, this part, I don't know if the camera can focus, but this part has some kind of projection towards this, like just like the stand of pins, but no stand of pins are provided already. So due to this I was not able to fit this USB 3.0 and the graphics card properly. So now I'm gonna repeat the process again and we'll screw it down again. So guys, as you can see, the PC is almost completely built now. Now we have to just install a single fan over here and the front panel, which is the old front panel, and the power cable so that I can switch it on by the buttons. So as you can see guys, this is the old panel. I have just painted these two front tabs as blue, and this were the actually this were the mesh for the air supply, but I'm not going to take it. So I just cleaned all the surface. I have this one plate over here, but first I'm gonna install the buttons. So here are the buttons. So as you can see, the upper one is the reset switch and the lower one is the power switch. So I'm just going to see over here. So as you can see, as the camera focuses, there are these two pins. This pin is the reset switch and this is the power switch. So we are going to need these two switches, and if optional, there is a power LED and a hard disk LED, but I'm not going to use the power LED or the hard disk. I might use the hard disk LED. So let's see that the black and the white one is the power switch. So this is it, the black and the white. So I'm gonna install it at the bottom. Like this, and the remaining switch, which is the reset switch, I'm gonna install it here. As this case is going to and these bulbs, which are the LEDs of power switch and the hard disk switch, I'm going to insert it in these grooves, as you can see. And now my front panel is ready, so I'm going to install it on my PC. So this is my PC again on the desk, and this is the front panel. So I'm gonna take it over here and just pass the cable from passing the cable from here, so that I can get some good quality of cable management over here. So there are grooves in this, so I'm gonna fit this into the grooves and just keep on pressing it till the pop sound comes. and my front panel is assembled now, guys. As you can see, this case is started looking pretty old again now. Now I'm gonna just get my torchlight, enable phone over here very quickly, and will install the wires. Even the connections, guys, even the connections of the wire are also written on the motherboard, plus you will get all the info in the manual of the motherboard. So you have to just make it, you have to just choose the pins wisely, or you might end up just blowing your motherboard and other components. Guys, I have hooked up the CPU to the main power supply, and now I'm gonna check that if the system works or not. So we'll be checking it in 3, 2, 1. What just happened? Oh, sorry guys, I just forgot to switch on the main power supply. So, and as you can see, all the pins are working just fine, guys. This is the moment of truth, and I feel really, guys, it's just a pleasure for building such kind of CPUs. From the front view, the PC is looking pretty much kicking ass old, but from the inside, the spec wise, the PC is a sleeper PC.